How we doing, people? So I'm currently standing outside. It's a waste-to-energy plant. It's situated on the banks of the River Mersey, northwest of England, in Runcorn. Now, I'm on this video explaining how the companies and unions let us down on these types of new builds in the last 15 years. Now, this one behind us, I was on the BBC News where we had to strike just to get us on there as local labour. We weren't against travelling. What they tried to say, Scousers don't like travelling labour, although I was a travelling man. But anyway, it gets worse than that, people. That was because on this one, in 2011, 12, 13, it was the Scousers and militants, they caused trouble. That's what the rhetoric was. But it got worse. So once this was built, there was about 22 I know of, Bedford, North Wales and Deeside, some in Ellesmere Port now, all over Devon, Cornwall, waste-to-energy, people. Let's take a little look. Now, these started getting built when I was still in the union by totally cheaper foreign labour. No one's against foreign, because for how many were getting built, we needed foreign labour. Now, I was the type, because we got national agreements in place to fight for this foreign labour to get paid properly, like we did as per national agreements, put them in the union and we all stick together. But they didn't like that. They want to be unions and companies together, because the companies box off the governments and councils. So anyway, people, what happened is they started bringing in Lithuanian, Polish and Russian. So at the time we were in Europe, EU, and they say to me when we were in union meetings, we can't stop Labour coming, and basically they can take your job. Doesn't matter if you're out of work in the local area, because these are in the EU, we can employ from anywhere. So that's why we fight. No, you've got to employ local. Surely when you're building stuff in local areas, it's to help the local community as well. That's part of the benefits. And when you can't fulfil from the local community, you resource then the travelling labour, what's available, born here or a citizen in the UK. And once you fulfil that requirement, then you look for abroad labour. What would have easily been available, so no one's stopping it. But it was about money, people. Now, bear in mind when I'm in the union meeting saying, all right then, they're in Europe, you can't stop them, this is where they don't like me. How come the Russians are doing all the scaffolding on most of these projects? This is why we're in Europe. That's what you've just said. Oh, they go quiet. They stare at me then like I'm a wrong un. Why have you just said that and made me look like I'm a liar when I am? But this isn't allegations, this is truth. So I got on that. I mean, I'm going to do a story, put in the comments anyone, to remind me the story of how the company went for me, not the company, a man. And I'll tell you how they rectified this after this job, which was fair play. Still doesn't mean that they're doing, that we let them off for doing wrong. So, unions, I've approached them and said, why aren't you getting onto these jobs and getting the local people in a skilled men who are out of work? So then they come out with, well, these new builds aren't nothing to do with us. We've not got any negotiations that it's a blue book, that's our national agreements to pay. Well, you don't need a blue book to get involved. It's CDM regulations on how they're going to build these. That then brings into play skilled labour. I've done all the tickets, SMSTS, lots more, NEBOSH. I know how they're built, never mind being on them. My dads, my granddads and my uncles since the 60s, 50s and whatever. So, how are you not involved? Because if they're building this in Devon, Cornwall, Scotland, North East, wherever, Cumbria, they need skilled labour. So then the governing bodies who give us the apprenticeships are coming with the unions to then start providing for these jobs, all incognito, and making sure that there's no strikes because everyone works up to this national agreement. But no, they froze us out. So I'm like, well, hang on. If you're not getting in the local areas as your local delegates and getting these jobs locked off, why are you taking the monthly fees off the people and to protect their industry, their trade? Why are you taking money? This is what you're meant to protect. All these new builds, you're meant to be involved because you're not meant to be building stuff in the UK unless it's being regulated and all these CDM regulations, design, maintenance, how they're going to be maintained. You can't just come and build these and just bring who you want in and just throw it up cheap and leg it. You've got to guarantee they're not going to go wrong and blow up or this, that and the other, contaminate, good for the environment. So what do you mean? So they don't like that, people. That's where I started getting blacklisted with the companies by the little arduits and also the fucking unions. He's a trouble causer. Am I? Why? I'm asking simple fucking questions. Now you see that pipework, people, that's my trade. I fabricate all that metal. You see all them columns? We were involved in all them there, people. I was on them. That pipework, fabricate metal from flat pieces of sheet metal. We make all the bends. We make boxes for where the flanges connect, or you got valves where the on and off certain process in the pipework. You know, we're skilled and we're getting sold basically to go and do one. You're not getting skilled money. You're not protecting your national agreements. What was better 20 years ago, what our great grandparents fought for, and we've let it all go to shit, people. Not us, our unions. Because if you speak up like me, you're blacklisted. I told you I was on the news to get on here when this give it its due, British Labour, but they didn't want to employ from the local area, especially in the lagging. Our trade, we're meant to be militants in our trade. Why? What we militants about? There's a Bible called the Blue Book National Agreements. We stick to that. If you're taking bits away and don't want to pay it, of course we want to protect it. It's our rights, it's our industry, and it's our kids' future. So that's what's happening in the waste to energy industry. Loads built. I know, like I say, over 20 odd, probably more really, but I've not got pen to paper. But I will, if people go, well, give us an exact number. I'll tell you over 22 I know of. And there's well more waste to energy. No, I'm not against foreign labour. I used to fight for them to get, they would have had 10 houses built, never mind the 2-3 they build off coming here for 5 years on one of these. Fucking hell, people, let's not get it twisted. My mates still back in Poland laugh at this country, think we're nuts, understand why I'm frustrated. They know, well, you know what, Andy, if you would have got your way, we'd be on better money. Thanks for that, I understand. Because we're busy. That's why when the British Labour all bow down, the game's fucked. It's not fucked, it's there. You're going every day. We are. We're divided. The money, I'm going to do another one, stand on. While we're highlighting other blacklists going on, when we're going to the clients and highlighting, we're not going to stop any jobs, but we're going to show how shit paid. How can we fight for our money when we're all divided? And on Blue Book jobs, we've got agencies not even paying Blue Book. All that's getting highlighted. I'm going to be outside their companies. Them agencies are on our governing body councils. But if you're on them, why aren't you paying properly? Why are we getting more money now? What's not on a power station or a new build waste to energy? On a fucking little factory? Putting a bit of duct wrap around the heating and vents. Or if you're a scaffolder, you're getting more money putting one round a little house, a fucking building. That was the software when these were fucking quiet. So mass failings, unions failed massively. If you want to fucking approach me, let's have a discussion. Let's get it out. Let's see if I've defamated anything. Let's see if I've lied. That's the way I look at it, people. So their waste to energy plants massively let down by our unions, our companies and our governing bodies. Who they allowing to go on? What's the point in training us if we're not getting on these buildings, people? And half of them are fucking built now. So things have got to be changed, people. We've got to start getting it back before it's nearly too late. It might be too late, but does that mean we give up? Did our granddads, our grandmothers give up while their fucking grandparents were out there fighting? No. So it's time, people, to take back what we have, should have. Our kids need a future.